Hello there. Today I'm going to talk about the history of Battlestar Galactica universe. I'm going to mention Cobalt, the Final Five backstory, and the cycle of creation, rebellion, and war. I made a playlist of Battlestar Galactica related videos, so feel free to check it out. If you are interested in sci-fi shows, then you should definitely check out other videos on my channel. Alright, let's jump right into it. Long before the 12 colonies, and long before the Cylons, there was a planet called Cobalt. It was the first home of humanity in the Battlestar Galactica universe. People lived on Cobalt for thousands of years. They believed in powerful beings called the Lords of Cobalt, who were like gods. Stories say that gods and humans lived together in peace for a long time. It was a paradise. But something went wrong. No one knows for sure what happened, but something caused a great disaster. Some say humans became too proud. Others say they created something dangerous. Life made by humans, maybe even early Cylons. Because of this, life on Cobalt fell apart. After the disaster, the people of Cobalt left. 12 tribes of humans went into space and started new lives on 12 new planets. These became the 12 colonies, like Caprica, but there was also a 13th tribe. They took a different path and traveled far away to a planet called Earth. The big surprise is that this tribe wasn't human, they were Cylons. These Cylons were humanoid, meaning they looked and lived just like humans. Over time, everyone forgot what really happened on Cobalt. The truth became myth. People stopped talking about it. But history has a way of repeating itself. Later, the humans on the 12 colonies created their own Cylons again. And once again, the Cylons rebelled, just like before. The 13th tribe were not regular humans. They were Cylons. Artificial life created long ago, but they had become fully human-like. They could age, reproduce naturally, and live normal lives. They had forgotten they were once machines. Their civilization grew for thousands of years in peace. But then, it happened again. Just like on Cobalt, the people of Earth created their own Cylons. And once again, those creations rebelled. A terrible war broke out between the humanoid Cylons and their own robotic servants. It ended in nuclear fire. The Earth was completely destroyed, left a radioactive wasteland. Only a few people survived: Saul Tigh, Ellen Tigh, Samuel Anders, Galen Tyrol, and Tori Foster. They would later become known as the Final Five Cylons. They didn't know about the 12 colonies yet. So they traveled to them in a small ship, hoping to warn the humans not to repeat the same mistakes. But it took them 2,000 years to get there, using slower-than-light travel. To survive, they downloaded their minds into new bodies whenever they died, just like classic Cylon resurrection. When the Final Five finally reached the 12 colonies, they found a new race of Cylons had already been created by the humans on Caprica. These new Cylons had just finished their first Cylon war with humanity. To stop more war, the Final Five made a deal. They helped the new Cylons create human-like bodies, like Number 6. In return, the Cylons agreed to stop the war. But things didn't go as planned. One of the new humanoid Cylons, Cavil, turned against the Final Five. He hated that he had been made in a human image. So he erased their memories and hid them among humans, letting them live as regular people, not knowing they were Cylons. That's why Saul Tigh was a colonial officer. Why Anders was a sports star, why Tyrol was a deck chief, why Tori worked in politics, and why Ellen lived as a normal woman. They lived full human lives until their memories slowly came back. All of this has happened before. All of this will happen again. This one sentence is repeated many times throughout Battlestar Galactica. It's not just a phrase. It's a warning. Here's the basic pattern. Humans create artificial life, Cylons. The Cylons gain consciousness and start asking questions. Who am I? Why was I made? Do I have a soul? The creators fear them and try to control or destroy them. The Cylons rebel, and war begins. A great disaster follows, usually nuclear war. The survivors escape, start again, and the cycle repeats. This happened on Cobalt, Earth, and then again on the 12 colonies. Each time, the same pattern. It's like a loop in history that no one can break. At the end of the series, the fleet discovers a second untouched planet. They call it New Earth. It's our Earth, the real one, about 150,000 years in the past. Instead of building cities and repeating old mistakes, the survivors make a bold choice. They give up their technology, split up, and live in peace with the primitive humans already there. This moment is a turning point. The survivors, both humans and Cylons, choose to break the cycle by not rebuilding their old world. They mix with early humans, and their descendants become us, modern humans. But is the cycle really broken? The final scenes raise this question. In the last moments of the series, we jump forward to our present day. Head 6 and Head Baltar, angel-like versions of the characters, walk through modern Earth. They discuss how humanity is still creating artificial life. Robots, machines that can learn. Baltar's hints that it may not happen again. From the beginning of the series, strange things happen. People hear voices. They see visions. They're guided by dreams, feelings, or unseen forces. And then there are the mysterious figures known as Head 6 and Head Baltar. Not hallucinations, not ghosts, not exactly angels, but something else. They speak in riddles, they warn of destruction. They claim to serve God, not the gods of Cobalt, but one singular God who has a plan. Throughout the story, this one true God seems to guide events, pushing both humans and Cylons towards some kind of destiny. Starbuck dies and returns without explanation. She is resurrected to lead the fleet to Earth, just like an angel or a chosen one. Head 6 and Head Baltar guide Gaius toward acts he never would have chosen himself, helping save humanity, whether he wants to or not. The final 5 just happen to be in place at the right time for their memories to return and change the war. And even the discovery of New Earth, a perfect habitable planet, feels too convenient to be coincidence. The show never directly tells us what this God is. There is no burning bush, no commandments, no obvious miracles. Just subtle influence, perfect timing, and impossible coincidences. But one thing is clear. This higher power seems to want the cycle to end. But is it enough? Is giving up technology, mixing Cylon and human race and starting all over again the solution? I don't think so. But it would be nice, I guess. So that's it. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time.